This is Rob Van Dam, and you're watching Cold TV. Bam!
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to Pro Wrestling 60. I'm at
Hello there.
Hello. The champs are here. I'm XLJ the OG, joined by my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, Mr. Broll.
And as you can see here over at PW60, we are dripped in the gold.
Ooh, baby.
It's really crazy. In the course of 72 hours, I went from owning 0 belts to 1.5, and we will explain more on that later.
Yes, we will.
But
Yes, we will. These gold belts are so beautiful. Beautiful championship title. This is what a title should look like. Fuck, not this. No. See what I did there, B-roll. But let's get right into everything that happened this week in the world of professional wrestling. We got a lot to talk about. In our top story, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship Tournament kicked off this week.
and I've got a bone to pick with you, though, because you didn't let me say my line. The
What's
clock
your line?
starts now.
Oh, well, we got to get right into it. So there.
Let's go.
All right. So the World Heavyweight Championship Tournament is confusing as it is, considering it's supposed to be the Raw title, but SmackDown's involved, but whatever. So it did kick off this week with 2 triple threat matches, 2 on Raw, 2 on SmackDown, with the winners advancing later in the night to go up against each other to be the representative of their respective brands. So on the Raw side of things, we got Shinsuke Nakamura, Damian Priest, and Seth Rollins in a triple threat match. And on the other side of the spectrum here, you have Finn Balor, The Miz, and Cody Rhodes. So kicking it off, we had Seth Rollins winning his triple threat match against Shinsuke Nakamura and Damian Priest, which was an awesome match, by the way. And then Cody not winning. What? That's right, because the Beast,
What?
Brock Lesnar, would be involved and cost him the matchup. And Finn Balor would win, respectively. So how cool was that to see Finn against Seth in the finals for the Raw? Like, and a lot of throwbacks to the Universal Championship, finals.
I mean, ultimately, I thought until they pulled all the SmackDown crap, like I figured, okay, hey, the finals at Night of Champions is going to be Finn and Seth.
I kind of did too, yeah. But obviously, not the case.
And real quick too, what did you think of like the small little Cody Seth interaction? Because like Cody kicked off and then Seth came out.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I thought it was great. And of course, Seth Rollins would win representing Raw. Now we're going over on SmackDown side of things. And man, oh man, how about this triple threat to kick off SmackDown? Edge, AJ Styles, and Rey Mysterio. That is a hell of a matchup. I can't believe that was still on free TV, man. With AJ Styles defeating both of those guys, both of those Hall of Famers. Like, man, oh man, a big surprise there, but cool to see nonetheless. I mean, I loved all of them. I was rooting for Edge, but it is what it is.
I was too. Like, that was like, no disrespect to the other one, but man, that one was. I wanted Edge to win really bad. Like, I wanted Edge and AJ to be the finals of the SmackDown, but then they were in the, same.
Right. They were in this, which was very surprising. Now, on the other side of things, we have Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, and Sheamus, with Bobby Lashley winning. Thus, we got Bobby against AJ. And AJ Styles would prevail. And B-roll, we have got a World Heavyweight Championship final at Night of Champions from Raw, Seth Rollins, from SmackDown, AJ Styles. What do you think of this?
it's Seth's to lose. I would say it seems a little predictable, but I don't know.
Right. I agree too, because it's like, come on, the Raw guy's totally winning. I mean, I thought actually from the get-go Seth would be winning this anyway. So it's gonna be a hell of a matchup though, nonetheless. And
Yeah,
it's great
yeah.
to see AJ Styles back too. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about that later. But
See, I feel like I would have been. I feel like they missed a chance though of Edge.
yeah, I do
Because
too. I
the
know there's
whole
people who said like in his contract he had something saying he didn't want to win any title or something, but I don't know. You still could have put him in
there's like
the finals, but whatever.
the whole narrative is like one last time.
Yeah.
Like
So I don't know. We'll have to
the
see what
belt, the
happens to it.
belt he never lost.
Yeah. So I don't know. Time will tell there, but we've got a championship final set for Night of Champions nonetheless. And boy, oh boy, Mr. B-roll, I think this is probably going to be our top news story for next week because we got some big old rumors going on in the world of AEW, don't we, sir?
Tony Khan says, "I make it rain. I make it rain. I make it rain on them."
Yes, he does. So the big rumor coming out this week is that AEW is about to sign an exclusive 5-year deal with Warner Brothers Discovery that is worth, get this, $5 billion.
$5 billion.
That's a lot of Snapples. Just saying. So the way it would break down is like what, like 2 point something million a year, I believe, or something like that for the next 5 years, essentially. The big thing with this, though, I mean, and we're going to talk about it here in a minute, was with the third show, but also it looks likely that the AEW library would be headed to HBO Max, and thus pay-per-views may be going there as well, which is so crazy to think because, as a fan, you pay $50 or $60 for the pay-per-view on Bleacher Report, and it doesn't work half the time, but that's another story. Or like on like your cable television provider. But yet all you gotta do is have like a $10 subscription to HBO Max and you get it for like, your $10 you're paying for. And the crazy thing is like I was reading a number statistically, I think AEW and the current pay-per-view model they have usually is making around like about like I don't know, 5 million or something like that, or something like 2, 3, 4, 5 million, something like that. And if they go to this streaming deal, they would be making like 15 million a pay-per-view. How crazy is that, B-roll?
That's crazy.
It's a win-win for everybody. But this is supposed to be announced at the Warner or meeting or whatever, the conference, whatever the hell you want to call it, this upcoming Wednesday. So interesting to see what happens there. And as we know, the third show is coming to apparently to Saturday night's AEW Collision. And the first episode's being entitled, this is the rumor, The Second Coming. See what they did there, because obviously CM Punk is coming back. But this is what I find most intriguing and interesting about this. There has been some heavy rumors that when Punk comes back, he is going to feud with Chris Jericho. However, Punk is petitioning for another rivalry, and I would much rather see this. No disrespect to Chris Jericho, because this is a matchup I've been wanting to see for a long time, because it's been a long time since these guys got in the ring.
Yes,
Samoa
sir.
Joe and CM Punk. Now, I don't know if this would be just like on that Collision show or if this is going to be like an actual feud. I kind of hope it's an actual feud because I think you could get a lot out of this, in my opinion.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah,
yeah.
how excited are you for this, to see this?
I think if you are going to bring CM Punk back and you want to build him back up the right way, you go the nostalgia route.
Yes, sir. I
And
agree.
that's going to, quote unquote, maybe redeem him in a lot of the eyes of some of the
That would be
hardcore
kind of a
fans.
cool story. Tony, you better go ahead and buy the rights to AFI's Misery Canteria. I'm just saying, but man, oh man, I hope we are going to get Punk and Joe. Like, I would be so thrilled for that.
All right, I'm gonna put the baby down.
Oh, I see how you are. So, well, also this week on AEW, how about this? Miro showing back up on television, as well as Thunder Rosa. Looking like maybe they'll be a part of Collision too, B-roll. Who knows? But
I'm just
I
so
do.
happy Thunder Rosa's
Oh,
back.
I know, right? I know, right? Absolutely. I do know this though, B-roll. There was more than just Thunder Rosa and Miro showing up at Papa Khan's office, and our good close personal friend Best Gout's got the scoop on this. So let's go to him and check this out.
This week on AEW Dynamite, we saw the return of Miro.
And also the return of Thunder Rosa, but she wasn't the only one. Here are a few people that tried to get in contact with AEW President Tony Khan. I heard from Kevin Owens. Right? I look like Kevin Owens, or at least I like to think that I look like someone that would put gravy over their french fries. Wrestling sensation Luchador Fishman. See! Also, we got the return of Andrade El Idolo, the masked sensation Curryman, former WWE Tag Team Champion Nicholas, the Bulldozer Bill Dotrieve, the original Force Ghost of Darth Vader, a family of possums, former 16-time World Champion John Cena, and country music sensation Shania Twain. We as wrestling fans are prepared for whoever or whatever is going to appear in AEW in the foreseeable future, like Froggy Omega.
Hey, it could happen. I would pay to see Froggy Omega and Kenny Omega match up. Take my money now. Just take it.
The battle for the name Omega.
That's right. Speaking of Kenny Omega, man, he had his hands full this week as he met Jon Moxley inside of a steel cage on Dynamite. This was a war, B-roll. I mean, that fee trigger through the cage.
Yeah.
And of course, Moxley bled. Like that goes without saying.
I love like Mox's like best dentist impression.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if they consulted with Britt Baker, like before they did that. Like, okay, how do we not rip his teeth out?
What's the best way to do this spot? Yeah, but it was a crazy matchup. But B-roll, the real story here, that son of a bitch, that virus, that jackal, if you will, Don Callis has turned his back on Kenny Omega. What do you make of this?
F Don Callis.
That's right.
And I also want to say one quick thing too, but we don't have time to get into this completely. But why didn't Hangman come out and make a save?
You and your Hangman. It's going to happen at some point, my friend. But hey, that's an interesting take. Speaking of takes, how about we go to Husky with his hot take for the week?
Well. We meet again. It's time for another Husky's hot takes. So, we all saw Dynamite, where Don Callis turns on Kenny Omega. From the looks of it, it seems like Don Callis would be in the Blackpool Combat Club now. But if you noticed, he didn't celebrate with the Blackpool Combat Club. I think Don Callis is aligning himself with someone else. Who could it be? Well, I have two options. One will be a debuting Kota Ibushi to start a feud with Kenny. Or one that I think would probably be the go-to on this, and this is where the hot take comes in. I think Don's aligning himself with CM Punk.
Whoa, now that is a hot take. Yeah, exactly. If they did that, if they had the balls to pull that off, that'd be pretty amazing, B-roll. But we had a hell of a Dynamite, though, this past Wednesday in Detroit, didn't we?
Yes, we did. There was much more that happened beyond the steel cage match. I mean, we had Julia Hart and Anna Jay in a no holds barred match. Look how happy Anna Jay looks in that bottom right corner. Look how happy she is. Like, I'm going to smash her with this trash can. It's going to be awesome.
So I have a question I have to ask about this real quick.
Did
she actually just draw like a temporary like barbed wire tattoo around her arm, or is that like legit? That's just like a temporary thing, isn't it? Did you notice that?
I just now noticed that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like temporary, but like it's interesting nonetheless. House of Black, though, man, they had a hell of a night though, with Julia Hart picking up her win and House of Black winning in the House Rules match against Best Friends, which that was dope with the way that the scenery. I loved it. I think that's going to be something to really look forward to here on future episodes of Dynamite and AEW television in general. The Double Jeopardy match to open the show with Claudio against Ray Phoenix. So Claudio picking up the win there. And now Blackpool Combat Club will get some sort of a tag team title shot here in the future for the Ring of Honor tag titles. Also, man, you had a hell of a matchup with Orange Cassidy and Daniel Garcia. And Orange Cassidy's killing it right now, man. He is just on fire. Like, I forget, he's like up to 22 defenses or something, man. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
He's like, maybe he's the one who defeats Roman finally.
Who knows?
That's a hot take. And then also we got some incredible promos from Christian and FTR. And speaking of FTR, it does look like they have got a matchup for Double or Nothing, B-Roll. Yeah, it's going to be this. FTR to defend their World Tag Team titles against Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett with your special guest referee, Mark Briscoe.
Which we love you, Mark Briscoe, but you realize this is the second pay-per-view in a row where Jeff Jarrett is getting a tag title shot?
This is true, especially on such a stacked like division. But it is what it is. So, I mean, from a storyline perspective, I get it because it's like Mark's got to choose, like, okay, who's his real friends? Is it FTR? Is it Jay Lethal and that crew? I have to say this, though. A couple weeks ago, the segment where they went to the farm, to the Briscoes,
was hilarious.
So, and of course, we all know our main event. It's the Four Pillars matchup with Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, and MJF. All in a four-way match, not a tag team match, in a four-way match. So that is what we got for.
I picked the wrong graphic.
It's okay. I wasn't gonna say anything, brother, but it's all good. It's okay. We love you, buddy.
It's me, guys. See, I was so mad about the Jeff Jarrett thing, and truth be told, I don't dislike Jeff Jarrett. Like, I think he's great at what he does. He's a great heel, and that's why I hate him. I just don't need him in the title picture. Like, that's all I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're not the only one who thinks this. So let's go to our good, close personal friend, Extreme League Wrestling, with the 5 count.
Could really kick your head in, getting sick and moving in the same week. Hello everyone and welcome to the 5 count, where I go over this week's top 5 wrestling news stories in under 5 minutes because existence is pain. Number 1, new programming coming to AEW. As AEW is probably about to announce a new deal with Warner Media to extend the AEW television library, unfortunately some things had to get the axe. As we say goodbye to AEW Dark and Dark Elevation, which before you get to your keyboard and saying that this is an awful move, look me in the eyes. When's the last time you watched either of these shows? But chances are next week we are going to see the announcement of AEW Collision on Saturday nights. Which, by the way, come on TK, you're literally going to make an announcement that next week you're making an announcement? I personally wonder how true these brand split rumors are, given that Thunder Rosa and Miro this week walked right into Tony Khan's office to maybe set up something for the special announcement. Either way, we're going to get a lot more AEW television, and for a silly little t-shirt loving mark like me, me, I'm pretty excited about it. Number 2, brand split LOL. Explained. With this newest edition of the WWE Draft, we were all wondering what would happen to the show that wouldn't draft the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. We wouldn't have to question that for very long though, with him unveiling the Consolation World Heavyweight Championship. So suffices to say, we were all assuming that the new World Heavyweight Championship would be Raw exclusive. Then explain to me why there's a tournament over both shows for the title. Well, it turns out the reasoning just comes down to Sports Ball, the biggest heel to pro wrestling ever. If you're a fan of the NHL, NBA, or CM Punk's Instagram story, there's a lot of Sports Ball happening at the moment, and a lot of big things are happening in Sports Ball. So in order to drive ratings, the tournament was set for both Raw and SmackDown. This is AEW has been needing to step up their television product over the past few weeks to retain viewers. Oh no, because of things competing with wrestling, we're seeing better wrestling, oh no. Also, you guys remember that one Raw match where it was a multi-person tag and one team was wearing the Denver Nuggets jerseys and the other one was wearing the LA Lakers jersey? How crazy that that's probably going to be the Western Conference Final. Go Sports! 3. Get well soon, Eddie Kingston. Look, we all know I stand Eddie. Dang it, the man deserves some love. After his losing effort to Claudio Castagnoli for the Ring of Honor World title, after the match, Eddie Kingston would go to social media to announce that he would need hernia surgery. Well, I am happy to report via the Mad King's own Instagram feed that hernia surgery was a complete success and he'll be back in 6 weeks. Get well soon, you beautiful son of a bitch. Number 4, new title match announced for Night of Champions. So as I am recording this, I am happy to announce that the final for the World Heavyweight title tournament is going to be Seth frickin' Rollins versus AJ Styles. Ooh, I'm salivating just thinking about this one. Also announced for it, we will see the Tribal Chief himself, Roman Reigns, and Solo Sikoa take on the Unified Tag Team Champions in Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. You know dang straight Papa H has been scrolling Twitter, looking at all y'all talking smack about how the Bloodline story's getting stale and just said, bet. Oh, what's that? You think the Saudi Arabia shows don't really matter and are just glorified house shows? Bet. And number 5, AEW All-In ticket sales. Some for positive reasons and some for not. A lot of people in the professional wrestling community were waiting to see pre-sale numbers for AEW's All-In at Wembley Stadium. And while the tickets haven't been on sale long, the numbers are in, and ooh, they looking good. With All Elite Wrestling already surpassing the 65,000 mark. This is a $7.7 million gate for the company. And Dave Meltzer has reported a great positive on this, being that only 900 tickets are on the resale market right now. Gosh, after seeing Clash at the Castle and Backlash, Wembley, y'all better show up. I am so hyped for this pay-per-view. B-Roll, Jay, thank you both for working with me while I was getting down with the sickness these past couple of weeks. Thank you guys for watching PW60, and always remember, I've got till 5.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, so glad you're feeling better, my friend, and hopefully you get that moving and all that jazz taken care of. So, but let's talk about Monday Night Raw. And good God Almighty, Brock Lesnar looks scary in that picture. He looks like a pissed off pumpkin.
Look
Like,
at this face!
like, look at this face. I'm gonna fucking kill you. So yes, Monday Night Raw, as we mentioned earlier, we had the heavyweight championship tournament go on. That crazy confrontation with Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes. And the Cody promo at the beginning to kick off the show was wonderful.
Mommy dominated.
Yep, against Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke gets some time on TV, which it looks like apparently Mommy's next feud's going to be Natalya. So poor Natalya. Looks like you're next, as they say. I thought Judgment Day, to me, was like the MVPs of this show. They were all over the place, and they were killing it. Dominic going up against Xavier Woods, and that confrontation was hilarious, but a fun matchup, too. Also, you got to see Zoe Stark make her main roster debut as she defeated Nikki Cross. Imperium went up against Sammy, got defeated by Sammy and KO. Otis defeated by Mustafa Ali. I bet Hambone was excited about that one. And we got to talk about the return of one Trish Stratus and the man herself, Becky Lynch. Okay, seriously, doesn't Becky look like she's got like allergies here or something? Like, is it just me? Like, she just looked kind of off to me. I was so confused. Like, but I was like happy to see the man back on Raw. But Becky and Trish getting into it. Trish, cutting that scathing promo, essentially how she was missing, doing the false, oh, she's here, but she's not here, and then lo and behold, she showed up and just forgot to take her Claritin, apparently. But anyways, I digress. Also, B-roll. I don't know if you saw this or not, but like she was about to like hop on the mic, but they played her music and cut her off. There's some backstage footage where she attacked the backstage hand because you don't mess with the man because the
That's
man
right.
comes around. So,
I remember.
are you happy to see Becky back?
Yeah, of course. I saw that video and I saw the caption. And it's like, why does this backstage guy take a bump better than half the roster?
Yeah, this is true. But obviously, this feud is going to pick up sooner than later, apparently, it appears as. And over on Friday Night SmackDown, man, oh man, we had an explosive show there. The World Heavyweight Championship Tournament, as we mentioned. How about Cameron Grimes was made his SmackDown debut. To the moon! The Bloodline segment, oh my gosh, that was just, once again, chef's kiss. Still setting up the storyline. And how about that announcement? KO and Sammy are going to defend the tag titles against Solo and Roman.
Yeah,
Night of Champions. That's going to be a very interesting dynamic.
Apparently, Sammy got off the no travel list or whatever.
Apparently. So,
well, like legit. Apparently, there was an agreement between like Syria and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's very
like
interesting.
that just happened in like recent time.
I'll
so
be
like
damned.
when Paul Heyman says they flex the bloodline muscle,
he's not kidding.
They flex the bloodline muscle. I mean, they're mending they're mending fences here.
Good for them. But that's cool to see him. That's going to be a heck of a moment seeing him over there. But also, the women's tag titles were up for grabs as your champs Liv Morgan and Raquel retain against Damage Control, and it looks like there's still some dissension going on in Damage Control.
Can we just break them up already?
No kidding. But I think it's going to happen sooner than later. And then insert your SpongeBob 7 months later. But anyways, also Asuka crashing Bianca's celebration in her hometown, and like, Bianca, girl, you should have known better, man. You can't trust Asuka. Comes out like looking all like happy and stuff and blowing that mist in her face.
But kudos to Bianca on selling the crap out of that mist.
Yeah, my God, you would have thought she's lost her sight forever, pretty much. But yes, as you say, kudos to her. But hey, I mentioned somebody earlier, Cameron Grimes, making his main roster debut. So that being said, I think it's that time of the week, sir, where we go to our tribal queen with her tidbit of the week.
Well, hello, everybody. It is your tribal queen, Bree. Tribal queen tidbit of the week. So I'm going to go a little bit different because typically I like to talk about A-Town Down Austin Theory. And although I think he should have won in his triple threat match on Friday, which, no, I'm not going to be that upset. I want to talk about Cameron Grimes because he made his debut on SmackDown Friday night against Baron Corbin. And he took Baron Corbin to the moon, if you can say, in about less than a minute. But still, he took him to the moon. It was a short trip around the moon, one time. Back down. I want to say Baron Corbin mentioned that he was going to send Cameron Grimes back to NXT. I got to say this to Paul and Shawn Michaels. Can you please send Baron Corbin back down to NXT? Give him back the lone wolf gimmick or have him terrorize people down there. I mean, it's just a thought that I would like. But yeah, that is your tribal queen tidbit of the week.
With Baron Corbin, that would be great. Like, can we, Papa H, can we make that happen? Because, I mean, this happy Corbin stuff, I'm over it. Just saying.
Yeah, you froze up a little bit at the beginning there, but I think I got the gist of what you said is you want Baron Corbin to go back to the Lone Wolf gimmick or something like that. You're
Yes.
playing with me.
I'm messing with you. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I said. Anyways, and as we mentioned before, the finals of the heavyweight championship tournament on SmackDown saw AJ Styles defeat Bobby Lashley. AJ Styles back in the ring. And guess what, folks? AJ Styles is our wrestler of the week because not only is he back in the WWE, but he won not one, but 2 matches. It's great to see him. And man, oh man, I feel like this is long overdue for AJ because I feel like ever since like he wrestled The Undertaker at like WrestleMania 35, it's just like I don't know. They haven't really felt like they've done anything with AJ. I know he had his feud with Edge there at WrestleMania last year, but I'm just happy to see AJ back and in the main event scene where he rightfully belongs. Right, B-roll?
That is right. I mean, look at him. I mean, and look at those 2 beautiful studs beside him.
Yep.
Hmm.
And don't forget about Mi Shin. So just saying. Well, Night of Champions is upon us, B-roll, and it's going to be coming up here on the Memorial Day weekend, which is going to be a loaded weekend for professional wrestling with 3 major shows going on that weekend. But this is shaping up already early on to be a hell of a card. I mean, you've got Brock against Cody 2, the finals of the World Heavyweight Championship Tournament, the tag team titles with the Bloodline going at it against KO and Sammy. What do you think of this card so far?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely dig it. I don't think Brock and Cody main event. I think I think probably they should have the Seth AJ main event.
I think it will.
Just to give that new title some prestige. But yeah, I mean, I think you'd said like all 3 of these matches easily could be the main event.
Yeah, they really could. Yeah, definitely all 3 of them could be the main event. Like, but I think ultimately you're right. Seth and AJ will go on last, but time will tell. But man, it's gonna be a hell of a weekend. But I tell you what excites me most about this is the fact that it's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever on a Saturday, and I don't have to stay up all real late. I can get to bed early. Hooray! So we'll have to see what happens at Night of Champions. Well, speaking of the WWE and shows this week, let's talk about NXT. What'd you think of NXT this week, B-roll?
NXT was a bit of a miss for me this week, especially compared to
the other shows. I kind of agree,
and compared to what they have done in weeks past.
Yeah, because the past several weeks it's been good, and like this NXT was special because it kicked off the Women's Championship tournament.
Yeah.
Where you had Tiffany Stratton advance against Gigi Dolan. You also had Lyra Valkyrie defeat Kiana Jane or Kiara. Is it Kiara or Kiana? I forget. I'm sorry. The internet is going to tear me to shreds. But nonetheless, Lyra Valkyrie ends up picking up the win.
Yeah, and, I mean, you can clearly see who they're paired against too. Like, so JC Jane's going to go against Roxanne Perez. Like, these former Toxic Attraction girls, like, I'm really confused what they're doing with them, honestly.
Yeah, the story is not making a whole lot of sense right now. But then again, there's a lot of things that aren't making sense right now. But I digress. But nonetheless, NXT. Oh, and we got to mention Braun Breaker going up against Trick Williams in your main event too.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm like you. I thought the show was, as MJF would say, mid. Just saying. But I tell you what wasn't mid. Let's take a look back at Backlash. There's a lot of fallout still from this Backlash over a week ago, man. And it's crazy to think too, because like, Backlash, honestly, in the years past, B-roll, it's kind of just a throwaway pay-per-view. But man, this year we're going to be talking about this one, I think, for years to come. Just amazing. Like with the revenue that they brought in, it was the most watched Backlash, the most talked about social media. Like you've got some mega stars coming out of this with Damian Priest now obviously being like tremendously put over and rightfully so. They're looking to possibly make this a yearly event in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I think they'll definitely be back next year there for Backlash.
Yeah, there was a report that like WWE talent had said like they would be okay if every like Backlash being there every year.
Yeah. I can't say I blame him, dude. I'd love to see that every year. I mean, it makes it a lot more interesting than it typically is. I think it will be the permanent home there for Backlash. And hey, you know what else is cool? Maybe seeing a little bit of Carlito returning to the WWE as well, as that's heavily rumored. But time will tell. But Backlash, we're still feeling the after effects of this show, and it's in a positive way, folks. So kudos to the WWE and Puerto Rico and those fans and everybody for making just such a tremendous show that, like I say, here a week later, we're still talking about it. So, oh baby, oh baby.
Boy.
Let's talk about this. In New Japan Pro Wrestling, we got the Best of Super Junior 30 tournament is going on right now. Just kicked off with A block and B block action. Already a couple nights into this, and we've already seen some amazing matchups. So much so, Mr. B-Roll, that our match of the week is Speedball Mike Bailey against Hiromu Tanahashi. And what a freaking amazing encounter this was, huh?
Yes, it was amazing. There was a lot of amazing matches like throughout this whole Clark Connors and Kevin Knight had a match to like start day one, and it was really good. But yeah, this was definitely probably match of the night for that. And it is one of our matches of the week.
What? We got a tie?
Because for a first time ever, we are doing a tie for match of the week because I felt like we needed to talk about this match because this absolutely was an incredible match. Sky Blue literally gave Athena all she could handle. I mean, she freaking took a bump where Athena like had hoisted her up and then slammed her down onto the steel steps, right?
Yeah.
And then Athena gets her back in the ring, freaking kicks out at one.
Yeah, no sell that shit.
I mean, and that was like towards the end of the match, and like the place just erupted when she did that. And, like this one was shot at the Universal, so it wasn't a super huge crowd, but
the crowd worked nonetheless, and it was
Yeah.
definitely an amazing encounter.
Yes, this was a great match. I would highly recommend everyone to go watch it. And honestly, I feel like too, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be done, but Athena needs more respect put on her name because she is having an amazing ROH title run, and like no one's talking about it.
Yeah, people should be talking about it. She is killing it right now in Ring of Honor. Well, guess what, B-Roll? It has come that time of the week. We need to see what's going on with the Bullet Club. So let's go to Sienna with the Bullet Club report.
It has been a busy week in the world of Bullet Club, starting off with last Saturday, of course. After a few hours of posting the video, Alpha Tasmo did actually posted this tweet, of course, of revealing the final Bullet Club t-shirt, which is actually going to be brought exclusive to the indie show, which he did make the appearance on both shows. Pro Wrestling Revolver, Mayhem for All, and Destiny Wrestling presents Icon 3, which unfortunately he lost to both matches on both shows. But let's talk about the shirt. Now, I did see the preview of the t-shirt design, which some of the fans that I did attend the show. The design is nothing special. It's just like the skull with the, his branding, of course, saying El Fantasmo. But honestly, I think that he is definitely shying away from Bullet Club. And I think he's just going to be doing his own thing for now, or probably joining a different faction. Who knows if he'll able to join Bullet Club Gold. Anything can be possible though. But however, regarding with your favorite tag team, ABC, unfortunately, they're part of David Finley's Bullet Club for now, but only in the U.S. soil since they are wrestling Impact Wrestling, and they actually teamed up for the first time since David Finley became the new leader of Bullet Club. So they had their match at Pro Wrestling Revolver presents Mayhem for All, which unfortunately they did lose to the Rascal. However, they did successfully defeat the Rascals at Destiny's Icon 3 as well. For right now, they're just focusing on their own thing. There was no encounter with El Fantasma or anything like that because it's just an independent wrestling show appearance. But we'll see how everything will be folded. Now, within the other members of Bullet Club, Best of Super Junior just kicked off with night 1, which Clark Connors, aka 100 Proof, defeated Kevin Knight in a really dope opening match. However, on night 2, he lost the match to former member of Bullet Club, who is now the member of TMDK, Robbie Eagle. Taiji Ishimori did defeated Ryusuke Taguchi on night 1, and he successfully defeated LIJ member T-Time. So congratulations, Taiji Ishimori. However, representing House of Torture, which they're still under part of the Bullet Club, Sho is having the worst luck in the tournament for both night 1 and night 2, where he did lost the match to, of course, Leo Rush, and to Speedball Mike Bailey, despite trying to get some help from Evil, but nope, it did not work though. And for Bullet Club Gold, they just announced a match for next week after a video promo from Ricky Starks and Jay White. The match is going to be happening next Wednesday on Dynamite. And that is it for your weekly roundup in the world of Bullet Club.
Throw it up, throw it up. That was interesting. That was very interesting. So, hey, speaking of interesting, B-roll, how about this? We mentioned it before. We are going to start covering some Stardom here on PW60. And Stardom just recently had their New Blood 8 show and was in a pretty impressive card. And who's ready for me to butcher these names?
Yay!
So you had Waka Tsuskiyami defeat Sakura Aya in your opening contest. Hanan and Hina went to a time limit draw against Tomaki Inabi and Asusa Inabi, the Inabi girls. I know I'm butchering. I'm still learning, folks. Take it easy on the internet. You had Suzu Suzuki, say that 3 times fast, and Mia Saraya defeat Maya Sakura and Shanato. And a special singles match, you had Momo Watanabe defeat Miyu Amasaki. And in a passion injection match, because I know you love those types of matches, B-roll, Nanai Takahashi defeated Rukai. And then for the New Blood Tag Team Championships, you had the team of Unique Glare, Starlight Kid, and Karma retain against Lady C and Hanako. For the Future of Stardom champion, Ami Sorai dropped the belt to Renai. So, and in your main event, Tam Nakanawa defeated Nayo Ishikawa. I know, I did the best I could to do with that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm proud of you.
But you know what? We really want to dive deep on Stardom. We got a very special announcement here at PW60 because going forward, we have got a special correspondent who's going to be covering all of your Stardom news. And this guy, I'm telling you, is the perfect man for this job. It's the one, the only, join the PW60 family. We got Light Skin Gaijin will be joining us. How excited is that? All right. And speaking of Light Skin Gaijin, he's actually got some thoughts on some of the fallout from this show, especially with Queen's Quest. Check this out.
負けたからそういう意味じゃないそういう意味じゃないじゃあ助けに来てくれたらよかったじゃんタッグ組んでるのさ
Man. Hey, what's been going on with Queen's Quest, man? Nothing, man. They're fine. They're fine? Bro, did you see that way Utami threw that ice bag at Saya? Water under the bridge, man. Water under the bridge. Man, look, all I'm saying is I'm only gonna tell you this one time. Queen's Quest is fine. You hear me? Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. Good. Now don't make me have to tell you again. Queen's Quest is fine.
Everything's fine with Queen's Quest, B-roll.
Everything's
I know
fine.
you're troubling. Everything's fine. Just like with Bullet Club, everything's fine. So, hey, speaking of fine, how about this? Nick Aldis making his return to an Impact Wrestling ring. How excited were you to see him on Thursday night?
He's a national treasure.
He is a national treasure. It was great to see him back in an Impact ring. I think the It's been like 7 or 8 years, or maybe even longer than that. I forget what the statistic is, but it's just crazy to think. But it's great to see him back in Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling, folks, are doing some amazing things right now. How about this? They just announced they will be doing their first ever tour of Australia. That kicks off Friday, June the 30th, goes to Saturday, July 1st.
They're going down under.
I live in an down under, but it's still super exciting, especially for such a great promotion like Impact Wrestling. It's awesome that they're going to get to go overseas and go to Australia. Can't wait to see those shows and how that tour turns out. I'm sure it's going to do great things for Impact Wrestling. And how about this, B-roll? Earlier this week at GCW's Brooklyn Fight Night in the main event, we got to see the debut, the GCW debut, that is, of Zack Sabre Jr. And what a hell of a matchup he had against Tony Deppen. I mean, this was just back and forth, just a technical masterpiece, as always Zack Sabre Jr. matches are. But he would pick up the win, and a huge shout out to Tony Deppen. And we want to wish him well too, B-roll, because believe it or not, he actually broke his arm in this matchup. Did you see that?
Yeah. Where'd it go, Zack Sabre Jr.? He broke his arm. But no.
But we definitely here at PW60 want to wish Tony Deppen a speedy recovery. And I'm sure he would probably flip us off, but, whatever.
Yes, he
We
would.
still love you nonetheless, sir. Can't wait to see you back in the ring. And how about it? We got to talk about this, B-roll. All in. Those tickets went on sale. And I think they're at, 70,000, I believe, sold. And apparently the capacity for Wembley is being set up for 74,000. So not a whole lot of tickets left. It's amazing to me, B-roll, because the fact of the matter is, they're already sold this many tickets, and we still don't know who the hell is, going to be on the card.
Well, we think we know at least one person who will be there, though.
Oh, we do, because it was announced, yes, that the UK's own Will Ospreay. Well, it wasn't announced officially, but it was and it wasn't. But we kind of already knew this was going to happen. Will Ospreay will be competing at Wembley Stadium at All In.
Yeah, he has to be there in some capacity.
Oh, it would be insane if he wasn't there. I mean, come on, man.
You got to think, you're going to be coming off the heels of Forbidden Door, and then also it's in London. Come on. It's
a no-brainer, dude. It's a no-brainer. And you can see he's got a beautiful gold belt there, the Rev Pro title. We got to mention this. How about the Rev Pro announcing that their biggest show of all time will happen All In weekend, as they'll go on the Saturday before at the Copper Box Arena.
So what you're telling me is basically, though, is that Will Ospreay is already there that weekend.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's booked for this show, though, but
he's their champion, isn't he?
No, that was like an old picture. Yeah. I don't think he's their champion still. I don't know. It's a good question.
Have to look.
You will have to look that up. Well, as we say on all of our platforms, you know what you always could do, folks? You could. Wikipedia that shit. Because PW60 just got its first one. So, it has come that time, sir. Let's go to Jay with the dirt sheet news.
Andale, kid. If Queen Rhea catches us on an island, she's gonna, hey, it's your boy Jay, bona fide member of the Dirt Sheet Press. And here are some stories you may have missed this past week within professional wrestling. As we all know, Tony Khan has another big announcement coming this week on AEW Dynamite. As Tony Khan doesn't make very many big announcements very often, we are sure this is going to be some earth-shattering news. Most likely he is going to discuss the new deal that AEW has inked with the Turner Networks. It is said that the new AEW show, Collision, which is going to show on Saturdays, is going to be coming up soon, and AEW is also making over $1 billion from the deal. The only downside to Collision becoming a thing is that Dark and Dark Elevation will no longer be on YouTube, as Turner wants all AEW properties to be Turner-specific, except for Ring of Honor, for some reason. But a lot of people believed with this new show, Collision, that we were going to see a hard brand split within AEW. This is actually not the case. Those in AEW believe that they need top women talent across all shows to make the women's division work, and the only place where you will see a hard roster split is among the main event talent. Speaking about main event talent within AEW, Chris Jericho was going to bite that bullet and feud with CM Punk when he returns to AEW. It turns out that CM Punk doesn't want to feud with Chris Jericho first, so he wants his returning feud to be with Samoa Joe. But Samoa Joe's on Ring of Honor. How is that going to work? Who knows, but I'm sure Tony Khan will figure it out. Also, the Backlash pay-per-view from San Juan, Puerto Rico took place last Saturday, and it was a hot crowd to say the least. A lot of people backstage within WWE, mainly talent, believe that every Backlash should take place from Puerto Rico. Well, the chances of this happening are slim to none, as the Puerto Rican Tourism Board paid WWE $1.2 million to have the pay-per-view on the island. But it is said if Money in the Bank goes almost as well as Backlash did for the WWE, we may see the WWE go international a lot more frequently. It is said that they have already sent feelers out to see if they could have a major stadium show in Australia. But those just aren't the facts. Those are the dirty facts. The dirt sheet news!
Man, oh man, how he can do that and not be sweating on that beach, I don't know. Impressive nonetheless, though. All right, it's that time of the week, B-roll, where we talk about and highlight our Wrestle Talk Creator of the Week. And maybe we're a little biased this week, but damn it, it doesn't matter. We got to highlight him. Simple Nicholas. He's a good, close personal friend. At the beginning of the show, you saw us with some gold belts. Earlier this week, amazingly, he sent us this beautiful WWF, not WWE, WWF World Heavyweight title, the classic Wing and Eagle with the blue belt. I'm sorry, I just have to brag there, but seriously, he's such a great, amazing person. Like, the nicest guy outside of B-roll I think I've ever met. He loves professional wrestling, a huge historian of it. Got his buddy's promotion in Wisconsin. Check him out.
JWA.
JWA.
For life.
Oh, life. But Nicholas, he's a brother of ours. We love him dearly. His family is amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah.
You can't ask for somebody that loves professional wrestling more than him, honestly.
Yeah.
And he's a huge historian of it. Like, you need to go follow him. Check out his content. It's incredible. Like I say, he's such a historian for the business. Like, it's awesome. If you love classic wrestling, you need to follow Simple Nicholas because he's our Wrestle Talk content creator of the week.
Yeah, and there was more than just the belt in there too.
Yes,
which is the crazy part.
Which, if you want to see all of it, check out our video here on Cole TV. A happy moment to this shit. Okay. It appears that Sting has been rumored to be participating in a card later this year that will have one Bill Goldberg on it. Apparently, Goldberg's going to go on a retirement tour after all. Who gives a shit? I'm sorry, but no. And please, for God's sakes, don't put them in the ring because I don't want Bill Goldberg to end his fucking career too like he did Bret Hart. There, I said it. You know what? Hot take. You know, I'm done talking about this. I'm done. So, yeah, this is happening or it may happen. Who knows? Who cares? I love Sting. Oh, man, and the GOAT, Chris Jericho. What about this, B-roll? Did you hear about this week? Apparently, he got into a little argument with Mandalay Bay. Apparently, like, he was trying to get his luggage as they were holding on to it for him, supposedly. Got into a huge argument with staff as he was being ignored by them. And they pretty much just laughed in his face, supposedly, according to Le Champion. So no word yet on if Mandalay Bay has fixed this situation, but time will tell, right?
Do you not know who I am?
Do you know who I am? So I don't know. We will see. And how about this? Darby Allin said earlier this week that he plans on climbing Mount Everest sometime next year. Does he do a coffin drop off Mount Everest, you think, B-Roll?
I don't know, but he may want to wear some more clothes than what he has on right there.
This is a true statement. So, but man, oh man, just completely random. And speaking of random, why don't we go to Brian's House of Random for your random moment of the week?
You see the logo, you know what it is. Brian again with Brian's House of Random here on PW60. Sorry I missed last week. Back again this week. Maybe I need to apologize for being on here. I don't know. Hopefully the views don't go down because of me. Nonetheless, all kidding aside. So, great to be back. And feeling a little blue, though. Get it? Because I'm wearing a blue shirt? Yeah. I thought of that one. Oh, yeah, that's real good. Swish. More like brick. So, regardless, and I'm also wearing the glasses because, theories. I got theories. Not Austin theory. I've got theories. I've got wrestling theories, but this week, instead of wrestling theories or a top 5, I've actually got a wrestling recommendation, a match recommendation. Currently, one of the best times as a wrestling fan that we all love, if you follow outside of WWE, is in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it probably already been talked about quite a bit in this video and more to come, but the Best of Super Junior tournament, where the light heavyweights are featured, spotlighted, and amazingly so. And I love that tournament every year. There's been great winners and matches and everything. So my match recommendation is from the 2019 final. Now, of course, if you know who won. Will Ospreay won in 2016 and then won again in 2019. But you've got to see, even if you know that Ospreay won it, you still, if you have not seen it yet, or if you've seen it and want to watch it again, it's worth watching as many times as possible. Shingo Takagi, the winner of the A block, by the way, who was, if I'm not mistaken, was undefeated in New Japan up to that point, against Will Ospreay. The chemistry, everything, absolutely breathtaking and amazing. It still holds up to this day. For his first, and by the way, that again, his first loss was to Will Ospreay, and what a loss, but what a match for the finals of Best of Super Juniors. So go check out this year's event, however you have to, but go on New Japan World, find it on YouTube, find the 2019 final in full, and enjoy every moment of it. You won't be sorry. Have a great one.
And it was also announced this week, apparently the Pat McAfee show is going to be moving to ESPN. What do you think of that, B-Roll?
Yeah, it's rumored. It's rumored. I mean, hey, dude just had a kid. He got to get that money.
Money, dollar bills. Well, I think he's taking a pay cut, though, if he goes to ESPN, though, right?
I have no idea.
But I don't know.
This is stretching it a little bit for wrestling news.
Hey, it's still Pat McAfee's part of the world of wrestling, and we're covering it. But we got one more story to talk about. You want to talk about stretching it for wrestling news? Apparently, Matt Cardona's cat, Kylo, has gone missing. Do you think he maybe purposely took off and decided to leave Cardona? Do you think he accidentally got out?
Do you think it's really missing though? Because apparently they're at the Star Wars hotel.
Yeah, maybe he just decided to bounce. He was over it because Cardona was paying way too much attention to his toys. I don't know, but hopefully Matt Cardona is fine. Wrapped it up for everything that happened this week in the world of professional wrestling. So we want to thank you all for joining us, and as always, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Until next week, I'm XLJ the OG, joined by Mr. B-Roll, and we'll see you here again on another episode of Pro Wrestling 60. See you next week.